Howdy guys, Cal Kellogg here. I'm fishing a new lake right now, Boca Reservoir. I've never wet a line in this lake. I've been trolling for about 45 minutes. I haven't had a bite and I haven't seen much on the sonar. What should I do? And the answer is stay with it, okay? I know there's bait fish in this lake. I know there's rainbows and browns, and I know people catch them. Surface temperature, 64 degrees. I've got a nice little chop on the water. There should be rainbows right under this chop if there's some rainbows around. So I'm top lining a pinhead spoon that I can work fairly quickly. It's got a compact profile. It should appeal to pan-sized fish as well as large fish. On the lead core, I've got on a very compact metalhead trolling fly, olive and white, very bait fish looking. It's also a compact lure that I can troll pretty quickly. I'm looking to cover ground. I'm working the structure. I'm working the points. I'm working the face of the dam. Sure, I'm hearing that little voice of doubt saying, well, maybe you should change lures. Maybe you should try this. No, that is not the right strategy based on my experience, lifetime of experience fishing for trout. You've got to fish with confidence. You need a handful of lures that you are supremely confident in. Once you get on some confidence offerings that are based on the conditions that you see around you, stick with those lures, work the water column, work the marks, work the structure, give the fish a chance to respond to your confidence offerings. If you just start throwing a potpourri of different lures out there, that strategy seldom works. Every once in a while you'll pick up a fish, when you change lures, but rarely does you start going through the lures and the floodgates open and you just start killing the fish, unless the fish just decide, this is a bite window and we're biting now. So the bottom line is, the most important thing you can do day in, day out as a trout fisherman is fish with confidence. That's the cornerstone. If you fish with confidence, if you spend time presenting the baits to the fish properly, baits that you are confident in, you're going to be yelling fish on more often than not. Now, I may not catch a fish out here this afternoon, but I can tell you one thing. I am going to thoroughly work the face of the dam. I'm going to work all this structure. I'm going to work the water column. And if I find some favorable looking marks, I am going to pound those marks hard. I'm confident in my lures, I'm confident in my approach, and I'm going to give these trout every opportunity to respond. I'm Cal Kellogg. You take that advice to heart, and you're going to be yelling fish on a lot of the time in the future. Well, guys, we are wrapped up here at Boca, and that was a very, very uneventful 3 hours of trolling. I worked structure, I worked open water, I worked the water column, played with speed, basically did everything in my playbook and came up with nothing. And also I came up with very few marks. I never really found a place where there was a mark, a good mark, or multiple marks. The whole time I was out there, I saw 2 good marks that I think were probably trout. They were trout or maybe bass, but they were sizable fish. I worked those 2 spots just a little bit, didn't get anything, but by and large, pretty devoid of life out there. So I'm sure there's plenty of trout in the lake. I was just not in an area that was holding those trout today. I'll definitely be back, but that's the thing. When you go explore new waters, sometimes you crack the case and you have a great day. Other times you kind of walk away scratching your head, and that's what I'm feeling like today.